Hey everyone, welcome to Old Iron Garage and thank you for tuning in. So this evening we have another project on the bench. You know what, let's just dive in and take a look at it. Get the camera situated here. And, come on now. Here it is. That's right, another Clinton engine. Like I said in the last video, we've been on a roll here with Clinton engines, and I have several of them lying around here on the shelves where I keep all my antique small engines. So let's just keep going with them for now, anyways, while I'm waiting on some stuff for other projects. So, yeah, this is another one that I have had lying around for who knows how long. I believe this one I may have gotten when I made that large purchase of antique small engines and some Bolin stuff many years ago. It was like 2020, I think. I have a slideshow video. If you go back far enough in my videos, you'll find a slideshow of all the trailer loads of stuff that I brought home. So this may have been one of those $5 engines that I had bought from that place. I had bought all the engines in any condition for $5 a piece, and I believe this came from there, so this may have been one of those $5 engines. Anyways, I have not looked this engine over at all at any time during the time that it's been in my possession. So we're going to look at it together right now for the first time. Yeah. Anyways, the only thing I have done before the video was a little while ago. I sprayed down anything that I might want to come loose with some penetrating fluid. That's it. I did spray some in the cylinder as well. So, just to kind of lube things up, let it soak down and get, soak into the rings and whatnot and get everything kind of lubed a little bit. So, yeah, let's just take a look at it. So we have a carburetor here. I have a 90-degree elbow for, I assume, an oil bath air filter. That's not here. I have a very crunchy looking breather tube that would go there. This one came complete with a muffler and some pipe fittings. Yeah, we'll just set that up and out of the way. I notice here, I just noticed 3 of the 4 pieces of like studs that hold on this recoil are there, but this one down here is, you can't really see it, but there you can see it, that one snapped off. This engine looks to be the muffler just leaked on my hand. The exhaust valve's probably open, and when I sprayed some penetrating fluid in there, yep, that's what it is. It's that penetrating fluid. Exhaust valve must have stopped in the open position whenever this thing spun over last. I noticed this is either this is a combination of 2 engines that somebody put together, or it is Christmas themed. Special edition Christmas themed engine, red and green. No, this somebody pieced together 1 engine out of 2 very clearly here. So, well, since we're at the recoil, does it spin? Does it turn? It's a screech in the recoil, but yeah, it turns over. It has some compression. So now we're on to the other side. It does not have the original fuel tank, but let's see what we got for oil. There is oil. What kind of washer? This does not look to be original. This looks like a washer for like a garden hose. we'll have to come up with a different one. Looks to be thicker than what is on the other engines, the other two Clinton engines that I was just working on, so that's probably going to affect the accuracy of the dipstick. Yeah, it is definitely not the correct for gasket, not washer. It has oil, but is just barely on the tip of the dipstick. So before I go cranking this over, whenever that time comes, I'm going to have to put some oil in it. And I actually have right here some used oil that came out of the first Clinton engine. I'll probably just top it off with that, because I don't know if this engine's any good. I don't want to waste brand new oil on it. We have the bolt here for the fuel tank, though it is not on here. Excuse me. When I made that purchase of all those engines, I got part of the deal was any loose small engine gas tanks or loose parts, new or used, got thrown in for free. So I hold a couple boxes, big cardboard boxes of gas tanks out of there. So I may have a gas tank for this. I don't know. This would be a model 3100. And then it says 1000. I suppose that's probably the type. Model 3100, type 1000. So the other one was a model 410. And that was like 4 or 4.5 horsepower. So I assume this is probably 3.5 horsepower. Is that correct? Do you know Clinton engines? I don't know them all that well. If you know Clinton engines pretty well, please tell me. Drop a comment. Is this, well, what horsepower was this rated for? And also, any other info that you think that I should know about this, or anything that would be interesting to know, please drop a comment. We have a pulley and like a belt guide here. The pulley is this same green color. I believe somebody had this engine on a Bohlins Mustang Tiller at some point in time, is my guess, because of this green color. I've seen Clinton engines just like this one in this color on Bohlins Mustang Tillers, so that would be my guess. So I guess, oh, a couple head bolts are loose. So somebody did take off the gas tank, because those are the two that would hold the bracket for it. The spark plug I left loose. And one thing I noticed about it, it's pretty neat. I've never seen this before. Sears Service branded spark plug. It's probably a, I don't know if you can see that, but a Sears Service. This is probably a Champion branded spark plug. It was probably a Champion spark plug, just rebranded as a Sears. That's pretty neat. This might be just kind of worth hanging on to, just as like just for anywho, you know, like not actually using on an engine. See if we can get this top part to budge, but without. She's not ready to come loose yet, and I don't want to end up twisting that threaded post off and make this thing useless and just kind of ruin it. We'll just put some penetrating oil on there. I'm going to set this off to the side, though. I do have here somewheres another spark plug, basically kind of a brand new one that we could use. Huh. Well, where did I put that? I thought I may have dropped it in this box. There it is. This is basically brand new still. It wasn't fired very much. I'm going to clean this thing up. We'll test for spark. It's a Champion J19LM. I do not have high hopes for this having spark. This would be a points and condenser engine, so more than likely the points need to be cleaned. Let's get this thing ready. Oh, it does have spark. Holy cow. What do you know? Let's see if we can get more than one good spark out of it. Come on. Well, I may have only gotten one good one out of it. Let's try a different spot. That's how it is sometimes. You get one good spark and then no spark. Well, I'm going to start by getting this recoil off anyways. Yeah, hopefully she will come off and not twist off any more studs. Well now, there it is. So far, so good. I'm going to take this recoil off so that I can spin it over with the screw gun faster and longer to see if I can get any more signs of a spark. So the fact that we got at least one and then it disappeared, didn't get any more, Makes me feel like, typical dirty points needing cleaned. So that leads me to believe, though, that the ignition system is good. Everything's good. It just needs the points cleaned, which is great. I mean, aside from having to get to the points, that's pretty great. Why did somebody put these washers on here? I don't know, but I don't intend to put them back on unless I find that for some reason we do indeed need them. Those are not original, so hey, geez, this thing needing some help. That is much better. I was having a hard time listening to that screeching sound. That was horrible. Alright. I'm going to set this on top of an old grease rag on the top of my trash can. The backside down to let it continue draining out the excess penetrating fluid that I just put in there. Alrighty, well, is this the right size? Too big. It's probably a 11/16 or yeah, it's an 11/16. All right, I'm gonna see if we have any more. If we have spark still or no. We do. We do have good spark now. It took a moment for it to start, but once it started, we had good spark. So that's good. I'm gonna try it again though, just to make sure, because I don't want to end up with an intermittent spark issue. Yeah, we have good strong spark. So I'm going to get rid of this spark plug for a little bit. You know what? Let's take off this. Should we even? I mean, no. Let's not take this off. I was gonna go ahead and dive a little deeper into this engine, but no. Let's not. So yeah, before we do any more spinning it over though, I was okay with doing just that to see if we had good spark, but before we do any more spinning it over, I do want to add some oil into this. All right, that's clean. This one, the opening is too big to fit. One moment, I'm going to grab a different funnel. All right, back. So, like I said before, we're going to put this oil. We're going to put this oil in there. And if this ends up being a good running engine, we'll do an oil change. But I just don't want to waste good oil, fresh oil on a questionable engine, you know. So I'm going to put maybe half of this in and then check it. Yeah, we're going to need to come up with another seal. I'll probably just cut one from some gasket paper. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and check the oil level now. Good, it is up to the F on the full mark. I'm content with that. So, we have some loose head bolts. We'll just thread them in and go around and check them all. Tighten and these two and check the others. The others appear to be good and tight, or at least rusted in place. One or the other. Hopefully, at least good and tight. Come on. Gonna have to do something about this muffler as well. I just don't want it to come crashing down while it's running, but it looks like we're going to have to take the carburetor off to address it. Oh, one of the carburetor bolts or nuts is loose. Well, let's just tighten it up, I guess. Simple solution. And you know what? I think I am just going to go ahead and take the bowl off the carburetor, since that's easy enough to do. And just make sure it's not filthy in there. Give it a fighting chance, you know. We'll just check the other nut too while we're at it. If I can get onto it. And it's just barely snug, so we're going to make it a little bit more snug. Good thing I checked that. Yeah, let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to need that again. Let's go ahead and, well, shoot. If I take that bowl off, I might ruin the gasket there, the funnel gasket. So I may end up leaving that alone for now. I'm going to need to turn this upward. Let's hook up this breather. Why not? There's not a lock ring here, so I'm just gonna move that. I'm just gonna tighten that the best I can within reason. Make sure that is still clean. There's a little speck there, get that out of there. And then we will put our funnel and fuel line on. We're getting a little low on fuel in our little squirt bottle. If you didn't know, this is 2-cycle fuel. When I'm trying to start an engine that I have not run in a long time, I like to bring it back around with some 2-cycle fuel just to give it a little extra lubricant. It's just bringing it back around a little more gently. So yeah, that's what that's for. I'm gonna put some in here. Does not appear to be going into the bowl. I believe we might have a stuck needle. Oh, there we go. Now it's going in. If you don't know what I was doing, if you have a stuck float or a needle that's stuck closed, you can kind of tap on that carburetor. Don't get carried away and just hit it too hard, but you can kind of tap on that carburetor to try to unstick the bowl. Tap on the bowl, or unstick that float. Tap on the bowl, tap on the body of the carburetor in different places. Seems to be unstuck now. So we're going to fill it up until we got some that's just maybe about a 1/2 to 3/4 inch up the funnel here. And one thing we're going to watch for is dripping from the carburetor. Clean these spiderwebs off here. This does have the little plunger that you can use to drain your carburetor bowl in case you get water in there or in case you're going to be storing it for a long period of time. Man, this seems to be taking quite a bit. I wonder if it's if the float is stuck in the down position now. I'm going to flood the engine. Okay, seems to be holding now. You know what, I'm just going to pour, well, yeah, I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Just a dribble. The last little bit that's in here, we're going to have to refill this with 2-cycle fuel. right, well, let's spin it over, see what happens, I guess. Is it choked or anything? Let's choke it. Why not? Should probably hook up the plug wire. I lost my socket. I see it down there. Daggone it. Come on. I got a little magnet on the end of a pry bar here. Nice for picking up metal or steel stuff off the floor. Let's open that choke. Hey, signs of life. Wow. Aww. I feel like we have a sticky float because this level did not go down at all. Let's do some tapping on it. I'm going to watch and see if it goes down. Maybe just a fuzz. I'm going to choke it again, see what happens. I suspect the carburetor probably needs cleaned. I kind of guessed that beforehand, but you never know. I'm going to do half choke. And we have signs of the carburetor starting to drip. Just a little bit. The fuel level is going down in the funnel, so it is feeding into the carburetor as needed. That's good. Well, I got it to stay running on half choke. That's a good sign. We got all the penetrating oil smoking off of the exhaust. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of fuel system cleaner in this, and I'm going to run it through the carburetor at a highly concentrated strength and just see what that'll do for it. Hey, come here, you. This stuff, Berryman B12, Chem Tool, fuel injector cleaner, fuel system cleaner. This stuff is good stuff. I have done this before and it did work somewhat. And I was somewhat pleased with the results. I mean, I still had it. It was good enough to get it to run for a little while, you know. It still didn't run right. But, like, it got it to where it would stay running. So, I'm also going to throw some starting fluid or some ether on the bench here. I'm going to run this gas. I'm going to run it out of gas. So, I'm going to run it for a little while off camera. Then we're going to fire it up on... Actually, I'm just going to use straight... carburetor cleaner. Fill the bowl and just fire it up. Let it work its way through. So, yeah. Let's fire it up I'm going to get it running and leave it running for a little bit. Then I'm going to pause the video and I'll bring you back once it's out of fuel. I'm going to clamp this down to the bench now that I think of it. One moment. All right, got it clamped down. Let's fire it up again. Running out of fuel. Also, I want to check. The throttle shaft has just a tiny bit of play, but not enough to worry about any serious vacuum leak. So that's not too bad. Oh. Don't like that. The flywheel nut started to back off on me because I didn't pull it off, the drill off soon enough. I'm actually going to put just a little bit of thread locker on there. It's not a bad idea to do that when you're using this method to try to start an engine. So, where is my little impact? I'm going to put a little thread locker on there and then impact the nut on. Since we don't have to take the flywheel off now for any reason. Alright, I'm going to give that thread locker just a little bit of time to set up. Alrighty, I'm back. I gave that thread locker some time to set up. While I was waiting, I went ahead and decided to go do away with this crummy garden hose gasket. You know, it was on the verge of breaking anyways. I was very easily able to crack that. And I made a gasket out of Fel-Pro gasket paper. A nice fitting one. And one that I believe is about the right thickness as well. So it will not, it will not be as likely to mess with the accuracy of the dipstick, the oil level on the dipstick. Let's make sure that this thing is run out of fuel or finish running it out of fuel. Oops, forgot to turn it on to high speed. Currently running on half choke. Just take it off the choke, see what happens. Still running. believe it is starting to run out of fuel. It appears to be running out of fuel. Let's go ahead and pour some in while it's still running, though. If we can. Oh, didn't get it in time. But it appears that our carburetor is, again, not taking fuel. Is it? Maybe it is. Maybe I did fill it up. That's weird. I'm actually going to go ahead and drain whatever's in there and fire it up. I just want to make sure it's out. I'm going to do this off camera, and I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Alright, steady the camera. I drained the carburetor, then I poured a little bit more Berryman in, and I drained it again. I did that a couple times because I seen some little pieces of particulate of some kind, whatever's in the carburetor bowl, coming out. So I did that a couple times, and it now appears that by running this through into the bowl and back out, it is going into the bowl faster now, a little bit more like it should, because it was going very slowly. And I don't see any particulate coming out of the drain anymore. That doesn't mean the carburetor's clean, though. This carburetor's going to have to come off and get a proper cleaning. Any dirty carburetor should. I'm just trying to play around with it, see if I can get it to run a little better. Going down, watching the level in this funnel. It's draining into the carburetor. Oh, it all disappeared into the fuel hose, so we're going to add a little more. All right. Filling the bowl again. Alrighty, I think the bowl's full. We're gonna try to fire this up again. You know what? I'm gonna move this over just a little bit more. There we go. I'm not gonna choke it this time. I'm gonna leave it off choke and see what happens. Wow, you can smell that straight carburetor cleaner. I'm not going to run it on this very long. Ooh, tried to give it a little RPMs. Didn't like it. Man, that is some fumes right there. Run on half choke, see if we can give it a little bit of RPMs. guys, I'm just gonna let this kind of putt idle for a little while on this stuff and let it work its way through the carburetor, kind of clean it out a little bit, and then I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with this. Alrighty. So I've got it all drained out, the Berryman B12 drained out of the carburetor, and I now have 2-cycle fuel in there. We're gonna see how it runs. No choke. Engine is still warm. No choke. Half choke. Darn. I had to get it, I had to put it on full choke and then back to half choke, and it started, and then I took it off choke because it was struggling. I'm going to up the idle just a tiny bit, see if that helps at all. No choke. Man. I mean, it wasn't doing too bad earlier. I had it where it would stay running. I'm going to up the idle just a tiny bit more. Just going to sneak up on it a little at a time. Ended up destroying my screw gun. That's okay, I'm due for a new one anyways. That's new. Yeah, I'm due for a new one anyway. I'm going to try half choke again. Alright, well, I have not tried yet adjusting the carburetor. I was hoping just to leave it where it was last time it was running, but I'm gonna try adjusting the carburetor, get it going and adjust the carburetor here. It's probably a matter of it just needing to be cleaned, but I'm gonna see if I can just, without even taking the carburetor off, get it to run and stay running. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and just play with it, adjust the carburetor some more, and bring you guys back when I have something to show you. Okay, well, I'm done playing around with it. That was still running on half choke. I did not have it off of choke. So, yes, the carburetor needs to come apart. Yes, the carburetor needs a good thorough cleaning. In the past, I did have, the one other time I have tried running this fuel system cleaner straight in the carburetor. I did have some good luck with it once, but this time it seems to have had no effect. So, you know, I'm not recommending you do that, by the way. But anywho's, so yeah, I'm going to get this carburetor off and go through it. But we now know that this engine will run, and it does seem to be quite healthy. It just needs a good carburetor now. So anyways, I'm going to cut the video here, and you'll just have to watch for a second video on this one. And good compression. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. I'm still, very unfamiliar with Clinton engines. What can you tell me about a Clinton 3100 or model 3100? Are they around 3 horsepower, 3.5? What horsepower rating are there? Any other details you can tell me, or anything else important you think I should know? Drop a comment. If you like the kind of content you see on this channel and you have not yet already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Later.